Last night, the Cubs got a 9-game homestand off to a great start with timely hitting, great defense, and they cashed in on some Mets miscues. Tonight, Casey Coleman gets the call coming off an impressive win in Florida. It's the Mets and the Cubs next. On another cold and damp evening on the north side of Chicago, we're set for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. A lot of fog in the area. We hope to dodge the rain. As the Cubs host the Mets, it's Game 2 of a 3-game midweek series. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. Can't put away the Jackets just yet. The Cubs with a nice 11-1 win to open up this 9-game homestand. And, Bob, we've talked about this a lot. The first 2 months of the season, the Cubs are getting good production, if not great production, from the top of their order.
Well, I'd call it great production. I mean, you talk about table setters at the top of the order, and regardless of who Mike Quade has plugged into that number 1 spot in the lineup, they've hit, they've gotten on base. The same thing for the number 2, number 3 hitter in the lineup, regardless of who it is. That trend continued in the ballgame against the Mets last night as they combined to go 6 for 14, driving in 5.
And those guys get on base, and the key now is guys like Ramirez and Pena and Soriano to knock them in.
Without any question, those are the guys that are paid to produce runs. Get the guys on base ahead of them, let them drive them in, and certainly we hope that sometime soon they'll start to do that.
Right-handers on the mound tonight for the Mets. It'll be a rookie, Dylan G, coming off an excellent start against Washington, and he's 3-0 this season.
Yeah, won 2 games early in April, then went to the bullpen for 3 appearances. Back in the rotation. This will be his 4th start since returning to the rotation.
Casey Coleman coming off a 5-1 win at Florida. The numbers were all good. He walked 5. That was probably the only downside.
Yeah, you'd like to see the walks cut down a little bit, and you'd like to see Casey continue to take steps forward. He's pitched 3 really good games this year, 4 not so good. Hopefully he'll be able to pitch back-to-back good ones tonight.
So coming up, the Cubs look for back-to-back wins to start this homestand. Everybody bundled up as the Mets and Cubs will play Game 2 next.
In part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. 75 years of being right here in Illinois means no one's closer to your wellness. Experience wellness everywhere. Subway. Every day at Subway, choose from many delicious regular footlong subs for just $5. Subway. Eat fresh. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today or go to shophonda.com and find great values on a new Honda. AT&T U-verse. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates.
Welcome to a foggy Wrigley Field, the wind is just gusting right now, straight out of the north. We're going to get this thing started. Not sure how long we're going to play, but let's check in on Terry Collins' Mets Southwest starting lineup against Casey Coleman. Reyes leads it off. Josh Tolley, the catcher. Then you have Beltran, Bay, Murphy. Jason Bay left early last night due to an injury. Justin Turner's at third. Jason Pridey in center. Ruben Tejada at second. Dylan G is the pitcher as Casey Coleman is set to work. Get you the Cubs defense here in a moment. Not a big surprise, Bob. Everybody was ready to get this thing going as quickly as possible, and we are underway. A sinker for a strike to Jose Reyes.
Yeah, varying reports as to when the rain will arrive here on the north side of Chicago. Slow moving storm headed this direction, but it appears there's enough of a window. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be starting this ball game.
2 quick strikes on Reyes. That pitch just off the inside corner. Reyes last night 2 for 4 with an RBI. Also was caught stealing as he rolls one to Darwin Barney, and that's the first out.
While we have a quick moment here, let's take a look at the Cubs Suzuki defense tonight. It'll be Soriano, Johnson, and Fukudome across the outfield, left to right. Ramirez, Castro, Barney, Pena once again across the infield. Wellington Castillo doing the catching tonight for our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher Casey Coleman, making his 7th start of the season. We mentioned a real good outing last time down in South Florida against the Marlins. Hopefully he'll be able to duplicate that here tonight. Needless to say, a really good night to pitch. Very cold, wind blowing straight in from left field. When in doubt, throw it up and out over the plate. Let your defense work.
Josh Tolley with a bouncer to Starlin Castro. 2 ground ball outs to start it. It's Healthy Week on Comcast Sportsnet. Hey, lose the remote. Get up to change the channel. That goes for you, Bob. Yeah, don't change the channel now, but next time you think about it. As Carlos Beltran takes ball 1. There's nothing more terrifying than losing the remote. You spend 10 minutes running around your living room looking for the remote when all you had to do is walk up to the TV and hit a button.
Which button and where are they located? That seems to be the problem.
Yeah.
In the old days, you had an on-off and a channel selector. That was it.
47 degrees. A 16-mile-an-hour wind out of the north, but I think it's blowing a little harder than that at the moment. Yikes. Those flags are getting a good workout this spring, aren't they?
Oh, man, I'm telling you, we've gone through a couple of sets of flags already with the winds we've had here at Wrigley this season. There's a rumor that spring is just around the corner, or summer, or maybe fall. I don't know.
That's a strike. Dan Isonia is a home plate umpire. And the 3-1 from Coleman. Also in there to Beltran. 3-2. CB Buckner, Dale Scott, Jerry Meals on the bases. Full count pitch, fouled back. Talked last night about Beltran, who has always had great success in this ballpark, but not on nights like this, I would imagine. He has hit .398 all time at Wrigley Field. Last night he went 1 for 4. Another 3-2, and that's low for ball 4, and Beltran is the first base runner tonight. The Cubs looking for their 2nd consecutive win. The Mets have lost 3 straight. And here's Jason Bay, who left early last night due to right calf stiffness, taken out for precautionary reasons. The game was kind of out of reach at that point. And Bay right back in there tonight. Fastball inside. Both starting pitchers tonight facing the other team for the first time in their careers. Coleman against the Mets, G versus the Cubs.
Beltran with a lot of leg issues over there at first base. At one time, he was one of the premier base stealers in the game, but very rarely attempts a stolen base at this stage of his career.
Looks like Casey Coleman got some tips on how to dress for this weather from Carlos Zambrano. Zambrano from Venezuela never wears long sleeves. Coleman's from Florida, and he has the short sleeves tonight. Bay pops it foul, and this will get back out of play. You saw the Carlos Beltran stolen base numbers for his career. At 88%, Bob, he's been the most successful base stealer in the history of baseball going into this season. In stolen base percentage, nobody's been more efficient than that guy.
Well, as I mentioned earlier in his career, he had tremendous speed and obviously picked his spots very well on top of it. This is a night that you don't want to nibble. Certain days here at Wrigley with the wind blowing out, or some ballparks that Casey's liable to pitch in this summer, you want to be careful about keeping the ball in the yard.
There's a base hit to left, but even saying that, little bobble by Soriano, Beltran at second. Even with the hit, it's the kind of night where you're going to need to put together 2 or 3 hits to get a run.
Or at least 2 or 3, the way Beltran ran from first base to second base on this drive into left field. Just kind of jogged from first to second, assuming that he was only going to advance 90 feet. And that's a good thing for the Cubs, because Soriano bobbled the ball in left field. But because Beltran was not in a position to advance, he has to hold at second.
Now the first baseman, Daniel Murphy, a hit, a walk, 1 for 3 last night. The hit was a double. He's playing first with Ike Davis on the disabled list due to a sprained left ankle.
Well, the Mets in some respects are kind of in the same boat as the Cubs as far as just trying to weather the storm until they can get all their players back healthy.
Pena just deflects that into shallow right, and the Mets are going to grab the lead as Beltran scores. Barney was coming over to field that ground ball. Pena in front of Barney tried to get it. It deflected off his mitt, and that's an RBI single. All this happening after 2 are out.
And all this starting with a base on balls to Carlos Beltran. As a first baseman, it's very similar to the third base position in that if you think you can get to a ball, you cut in front of the second baseman and make the play. It appeared that Barney was in position there to make the play. Casey Coleman always gets over to first base to cover. Unfortunately, just ticked off the webbing of Pena's glove. That'll go as an infield hit and an RBI for Daniel Murphy.
Called strike. Rookie Justin Turner recently had a 7-game RBI streak. That's rookie record. It's that ball foul. 0-2. And the guy filling in for David Wright, who's on the DL. Are you buying it? I'm not buying it.
He lost his red rubber nose somewhere.
Pitch too high. 1-2. We might play 9 innings without incident, but I doubt it. Based on all the forecasts we've heard, this could be the kind of night where the game goes 5 or 6 innings and that's it. So there's a premium on early runs, and I think both managers, Bob, will manage the game accordingly.
Well, and I think you have to as a manager. You're well aware of the weather report. You checked the radar up in your office before you came down to the dugouts before the game, and both these managers are are certainly aware of the rain headed this direction, and when that's the case, you try to play for that run early and hope for the best. Hope that your pitcher can stymie the other team's offense long enough to get 5 innings in.
Going back to your point, I think you hit it on the head. If we saw a window later, we might not have started on time. They might have tried to wait out the rain, but it seems as if this is the window.
Yeah.
We're going to play as long as we can, and then once it starts raining, it may not stop for a while. Three and two. Murphy will run from first with 2 outs. And a high fly to left. Soriano was playing in, and that wind is just going to keep everything hit in that direction. The Mets do get a run. The Cubs are coming up here at rainy, windy Wrigley. (11-1) over their last 12 games against the National League East. They hope that trend continues tonight. Fukudome, Barney Castro all hitting over 300. Ramirez, Pena, Reed, Johnson hit leadoff last night. He's in the 6th spot tonight. Soriano, Wellington, Castillo, and Casey Coleman at the bottom.
Take a look at the Mets defensively. It'll be Bay, Pridey, and Beltran across the outfield, left to right. Turner and Reyes on the left side of the infield. Tejada and Murphy on the right side. Josh Tolley doing the catching tonight for right-hander Dylan G. We mentioned he has 3 victories on the season. His first 2 times out against Atlanta and Arizona, he picked up wins, and then 3 appearances out of the bullpen before returning to the starting rotation. See a lot of fastballs, a lot of straight changeups. Anytime you see a right-handed pitcher who has a good straight changeup, you can anticipate that he handles lefties pretty well, and that's the case with G. A 194 average for left-handed batters against the Mets righty.
From Cleburne, Texas, went to the University of Texas at Arlington and was a 21st round pick in 2007. Kosuke leading off tonight, not in the lineup last night against the lefty Nice. 2-0 the count.
In the minor leagues, G was a strike thrower, averaged 4 strikeouts for every walk. He's had some issues with the strike zone here at the major league level.
Outside, it's 3-1 on Fukudome. Hitting .429 here at Wrigley Field. 3-2. And that sinker was outside. Ball 4 and a leadoff walk. Follow all of tonight's stats and info in real time with Cubs in-game live only at csnchicago.com. Brought to you by Honda. Pitch to Darwin Barney is inside, ball one. 2-run single is part of a big 5-run second. And it was all the Cubs would need. They would tack on 6 later in an 11-1 rout. The 5 runs in the second marked the 9th time this season the Cubs have scored at least 5 runs in 1 inning. That's the most in the majors. How about that? There's a line out as Murphy in the perfect spot to handle that shot off the bat of Darwin Barney. Fortunately, Fukudome got right back to first, so no double play.
A freeze on a line drive. You're taught as a base runner, even at the Little League level. That time Kosuke took his secondary lead off first. He read the line drive and was able to get back to the bag easily. Nice piece of hitting by Darwin Barney, even though it resulted in an out, trying to do the right thing, take advantage of that hole in the Mets defense on the right side. Game plan. Darwin Barney talks about it all the time. Every time he's in that on deck circle, before he walks up to the plate, he takes a look at the defense. Where are the base runners? What does this situation call for? And he has it in his mind as he enters that batter's box what he's going to try to do.
Pitch to Starlin Castro, back up the middle, and a base hit. His 152nd hit since last year's All-Star break. That's the most in the National League during that time. Also 66th this season.
Only player in the major leagues with more over that time span is Ichiro Suzuki in Seattle. Look at that knuckleball coming right at you. Darwin hit that right on the butt.
It'll bring up Aramis Ramirez. Takes a curveball inside. Aramis with a 7-game hitting streak. He's stuck on 1 home run, and that home run came way back on the first homestand, April 6th against Arizona. Slugging just .386 inside again. 2-0.
Well, no doubt the Cubs need Aramis Ramirez and Carlos Pena and Alfonso Soriano and others to get hot with the power bat, but tonight doesn't figure to be the night. Take a line drive in the gap right here.
Fastball in there for a strike. Well, when you hear the name Dylan G, you know where I go. Trying to think of other major league players who have the last name of a letter of the alphabet. And I can't think of many. Bobby C would come to mind. It's S-E-A-Y. Good change up. 2-2. There was a Justin K. K-A-Y-E. Can you think of another guy with a last name of a letter of the alphabet? Was there a W who played in the big leagues?
Not to the best of my knowledge. J.
Yeah, that's good. John J. Ramirez strikes out.
There had to be a K somewhere along
we
the
missed
line.
Justin K.
Justin
is one.
K.
2002. With the Seattle pitcher.
Sadahara O.
Nice.
That's a good change up right there from G. We're told that he'll use that pitch to righties and lefties, especially to the left-handed hitters, but that time got Ramirez way out in front.
There's Carlos Pena, who has reached base in 17 of his last 18 games, but in terms of hits, 0 for his last 15 official at bats. They put on the big shift against him with runners at first and second and 2 down.
Now the one difference with a runner at second base, that third baseman cannot stray as far from the bag as he normally would with Carlos Pena at the plate. You see where Turner is positioned, not too far from his normal position at third base.
Outside, 2 balls, no strikes on Carlos Pena.
That fog is blowing straight up right here in front of the booth.
Kick and a pitch right down the middle.
Just another example that G will throw that changeup in any count to any hitter. A 2-0 change that time right down the middle of the plate to Carlos Pena. Of course, that 2-0 count to any hitter, that's when you're expecting a fastball and you look for that pitch in your happy zone. If you don't get it, you take it. And I'm sure Carlos Pena wasn't looking for a 2-0 changeup.
Fastball inside, 3-1. Reed Johnson would bat next here in the first. And they are loaded up. That's 2 walks in the inning.
See that grip on the ball, holding it with his middle finger and his ring finger, using his pinky to just kind of cradle the ball. That circle change up off the plate inside for ball 4.
So 3 on for Reed Johnson from the leadoff spot last night. He walked, picked up an RBI single, and scored a run.
Made a couple of nice defensive plays out in center field as well.
A diving catch over in left center. Our AT&T UVerse multi-view, as you see the Cubs have the bases loaded here. 2 walks and a single. Boy, not only is Reed Johnson crowding the plate, but he has moved up toward the pitcher. His back foot is a good 8 to 10 inches closer to the pitcher than that back stripe. A lot of guys will put that foot right on that back line, but not Reed Johnson in this at bat. 2-0.
Yeah, he looks like he's lining that back foot up right about the back tip of home plate. You can see the roof of the house. If you picture home plate as a house and the roof is the very back end, you can see as he gets in that batter's box, his back foot is near that point of the plate. And you can see how far ahead of that back line he is. Most players choose to get as far away from that pitcher as possible to give themselves a long time to look at the ball. Well, tenths of a second.
Right. Big pitch. Fair ball for Reed Johnson. Cubs will get at least 2 here. Fukudome's in. Castro scores. Pena's going to stop at third. It's 2-1. A double by Reed Johnson.
Talk about the importance of taking an early lead with impending weather. The Mets were able to jump out and get one in the top of the first. Reed Johnson with a double down into the left field corner gives the Cubs a lead right back.
Chance to get some more. Here's Soriano batting 7th. And that pitch in the dirt. 1-0 the count. 2 hits in the opener. Been sitting on 11 home runs since he went deep in Los Angeles off Clayton Kershaw on May 2nd. Called strike. It's 1-1. That one driven deep the other way. Carlos Beltran's going to watch it bang off the wall. 2 more will score. Back to back. 2 out. 2-run doubles, and it's 4-1.
ball was smoked to right field that time by Soriano. Fastball headed for that outside corner. He stays right on it, drives it to right field, bangs it off the wall. Beltran with a lob throw back into the infield. Soriano chugs into second with a double. 2 more Cub runs. Love it.
Like Terry Collins was out, not Dan Worthen, the pitching coach.
Pretty sure they weren't talking about mechanics. Usually if you see something that the pitcher's doing out there on the mound, it'll be the pitching coach that will go out and try to give a quick tutorial on how to correct the mistakes. But when the manager goes out, it's usually either more motivation or fear tactics.
Which did you prefer?
Oh, I always loved the motivation. Fear tactics didn't work well anyway. I mean, if you've given up 2 two-run doubles in a row, you're already scared.
Wellington Castillo gets his 4th start. Giovanni Soto hopefully will be back by the weekend against the Pirates. Gio caught 3 innings, had 5 plate appearances today in an extended spring game, and he'll catch 5 innings with AA Tennessee tomorrow.
That's the beauty of extended spring. You play 3 innings and get 5 at bats.
Jose Reyes will pick it up. Throw to first, gets Castillo, and a big inning for the Cubs. 2 big doubles with 2 outs, driving in 4 combined. It's 4-1 after 1. Have a ball. A lot of fans coming out to the ballpark mid-afternoon and getting up close and personal with the 2011 Chicago Cubs. And the weather was nice around 2:30, 3 o'clock today. See a lot of fans in t-shirts, golf shirts. But not anymore, as the cold and rain and fog has rolled in. Cubs leading 4-1. Tomorrow's Kimberly-Clark Day here at Wrigley Field. Don't miss the action as the Cubs battle these Mets at 120. Lucky seat winners will be awarded great prizes throughout the game. There's no purchase necessary. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Center fielder Jason Pridey started for the Mets here in the second. Squares to bunt, pulled it back, and takes ball 1. Pridey missed a big chunk of the season last year, AAA, due to a couple of DL stints with a right hamstring strain. This is his second big league team. He was a Minnesota Twin and now a New York Met. And he singles into right to start the inning.
Flicker in the middle of the plate up a little bit to Pridey. Nice swing that time, producing a line drive into right field. That ball down. Casey Coleman started out this ball game getting 2 ground balls from Reyes and Tolle, and then walked Carlos Beltran, gave up back-to-back base hits. Casey's at his best when you see a lot of ground balls. It's that downward movement on the sinker and the changeup, occasional breaking ball, keep the ball down in the zone. He'll usually get the ground balls he's looking for.
Second baseman Ruben Tejada, 0-1. Tejada 6 for 13 against the Cubs in his career.
Tejada may have had the hardest hit ball in the game last night. Similar conditions, wind blowing in, and he hit a line drive off the wall and straight away left field. We've seen it in the past here at Wrigley, even under conditions like tonight when that wind is howling out of the north the way it is. If you keep it down, hit line drive right at that well area in left field, you can cut it through the wind. Once that ball gets up in the air any amount whatsoever, the wind really works on it.
Saw those numbers against the Cubs. All 5 RBIs came on September 5th of last year, as he hit his first career home run and knocked in 5 in the Mets' 18-5 win. Coleman ready for a 1-1 pitch. Center field, base hit. That'll put Dylan G in a bunting situation, and so he'll try to put 2 in scoring position.
The pitch elevated. You see Wellington Castillo go up with the glove. That pitch about belt level. Tejada with a line drive single into center field. I think all the Cubs outfielders, I mean, we've seen Soriano cheat in several steps. I think everybody could play a little shallower tonight than you normally do, just because of that wind that we've been talking about since the beginning of the game. Ball is just not going to carry like it normally does.
Throw goes to third. They get it. Pridey is forced.
I'll tell you, it is not easy to put down a sacrifice bunt on Casey Coleman. We've talked about it repeatedly. He's a great athlete, quick feet, very aware as to where everybody on the bases is at any given time, and that time gets an easy out at third base on a fairly good bunt from the pitcher G.
Still first and second. Jose Reyes pulls one foul.
And we're not generally in the business of spreading rumors, but a lot of rumors out there concerning Jose Reyes and where he may end up as this season moves forward. The San Francisco Giants have been mentioned quite often as a possible landing spot for the Mets shortstop.
Will be a free agent after the season. 3-time All-Star, 3-time stolen base champ. Barney just can't get it, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. 3 singles in the inning. So much for a pitcher's night.
Yes.
5 runs in combined, and the Mets are threatening here in the second.
This looks like a ball that Darwin Barney will probably tell us after the game that he feels he should have had. It was hit hard. It looked like the ball went underneath his glove, however, on into right field. Maybe just misjudged that topspin grounder a little bit.
Mark Riggins coming out to talk it over as Josh Thole will be the batter. Mets are struggling offensively. Over their last 7 games, they have not scored more than 3 runs in any game. And you've got a catcher hitting second in their lineup coming in at 205. And sure enough, second time through the order, Thole in a huge spot here. And with Coleman struggling and with that potential rain situation, we've got early action in the bullpen. You would normally never see this. A starting pitcher leading 4-1 in the second inning. And double barrel action in the Cubs pen. Here we go. Thole takes ball 1 low. So Berg and Russell get ready quickly. And the 1-0 pitch inside. 2-0. It seems like a drastic maneuver, Bob, but I think tonight is the kind of night where it's going to rain. You've got a lead. You almost manage this like you're in the late innings. To right and a base hit. Everybody will advance a base. It's now 4-2 and the bases are still loaded. 4 singles to get 1 run here in the second inning.
Another sinker this time. And once again, up in the strike zone, up at the upper part of the thighs to Josh Thole. Very wristy top hand swing that time. Looked like Fukudome gave up on that ball a little bit quickly. He might have been able to come in a few more steps and catch it in the air, but played it safe, let it bounce in front. That's sneaking back into this one.
Okay, so the type of weather night we've had, and you hear the line, just challenge everybody, let them hit it. Don't nibble, don't walk guys. Well, now he's given up 4 hits and the bases are loaded. And that one could be trouble. Reed Johnson won't get it. And they're going to try to score 3. Relay throw by Castro as Thole hit the deck, and he'll get back to third as Castillo can't recover in time. Thole slipped halfway to home. So that keeps the game tied. It's a 2-run double by Carlos Beltran. Coleman having all kinds of trouble here. A 5-hit, so far 3 runs second inning.
Actually not a bad pitch that time. A sinker headed toward that outside corner rather. Reed Johnson has to track it down all the way to the vines. There you see Josh Thole losing his footing around third base. He was out in no man's land. Unfortunately, the throw to the plate was a short hop. Castillo had to block it, and that gave Thole enough time to get back.
That's it. Coleman is done. Could get just 4 outs tonight. It's the Toyota call to the pen, and it's Justin Berg to face Jason Bay when we come back. Right-hander Justin Berg is on, and his MO is similar to Casey Coleman's. Heavy sinker. And he comes in with runners at second and third, one out in a 4-4 tie.
And hopefully Justin Berg do a better job of locating that heavy sinker. Unfortunately for Casey Coleman, got a lot of them up over the heart of the plate where the Mets could get the barrel on it. Stringing together base hits. It's exactly what you said a little while ago. This is the kind of night you're going to have to bunch base hits to score runs, and the Mets have done it here in this inning.
Here's a pitch to Bay off the plate inside. Ball one. About the Mets with some expiring contracts. Not the case for Jason Bay. He's in the second year of a 4-year deal with $66 million he signed prior to last season. He hasn't been able to stay healthy to this point. A concussion ended his season early last year. Missed the first 3 weeks this season with a strained intercostal. 3 balls, no strikes. Trying to keep that intact. It's not going to be easy here for Justin Berg. And he has loaded him up.
Graduation days at Wrigley Field are back on Wednesday, June 1st and Monday, June 13th. Graduates in attendance can participate in a pregame parade and will receive a certificate commemorating this spectacular event. It's the perfect gift for the graduate in your life. For more information and to order tickets, visit Cubs.com/graduation and enter coupon code GRADUATE to take advantage of this special offer.
Daniel Murphy, bases loaded. Well, if you were following this game online and you didn't know anything about the weather and you just saw hit, walk, double, single, 4-4 in the second, you'd think it's 85 degrees, wind blowing straight out of the southwest. But that's baseball for you. You just never know.
Well, then we've had a number of nights here at Wrigley Field when it has been 80 degrees, the wind blowing straight out. We've had pitchers duels, 2-1, 3-2, when we expect a lot of runs to be scored. What a goofy place.
Bird needs to throw a strike. 6 straight bad ones. And it's 2-0. I'm going to end up making an excuse for him by saying I'm not making excuses for Justin Berg. But there is no excuse not to be ready. But how many times does the bullpen get up in the second inning with a 4-1 lead?
Yeah, it's pretty rare. But
you got to throw strikes.
Yeah.
Yep. 3-0. Ball 4. The Mets lead.
Well, he does get one in the strike zone and doesn't get the call from Dan Iasonia behind home plate. Of course, when you're not hitting the strike zone, the borderline pitches are rarely going to go your way. And you'll see on pitch tracks this ball appeared to catch the bottom of the strike zone. Remember, it's not where Castillo catches it. It's where it crosses the front of home plate. And according to pitch tracks, that ball was at the knees.
Nine consecutive balls. 1-0 on Turner.
Boy, this is an ugly looking ball game.
Yeah, it is.
Ugh.
Borderline pitch, but again, Berg just is not going to get the benefit of the doubt. Wow. 11 consecutive Pitches out of the strike zone for Justin Bird.
Right, it's not a matter of mechanics or your throwing arm or anything else at this point. It's between the ears. Justin Berg standing straight up. He's always a very vertical pitcher anyway, but even more so than normal.
That'll be it. Mike Quade coming out. Can't remember if I've ever seen an appearance quite like that. 12 pitches, 12 balls from Justin Bird. 6-4 Mets. It's the Toyota call to the pen, and here comes James Russell. Yet again, it is left-hander James Russell who has bounced back and forth between the rotation and the bullpen since the injuries to Cashner and Wells in April. James making his first appearance in 3 days. He got a start in Boston, suffered the loss as a starter. 4 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs.
Well, the good news is James Russell has been very good as a reliever this year. Most of his problems and the inflated statistics are because of the spot starts that he's been forced to take.
Lots cheer here in Chicago as James Russell with the first pitch strike to Jason Pridey. Pridey started the inning with a single to right. Justin Bird did not throw a strike. 12 pitches, 3 walks. And the line is now closed on Casey Coleman. He gave up 6 runs, all earned.
Let me check the weather radar.
How's it look?
Give me a second here. I have to reload the page. Hey,
2-2.
It's still moving this way, perhaps not quickly enough, but it's going to be here.
The pitch fouled back.
Like there was confusion about the count up there at home plate. Dan Iasonia checking with both dugouts. Friday wasn't sure what the count was.
3-2. Cubs have already walked in 2. The 3-2 pitch. He got him on strikes. 2 down.
Gutsy call that time by James Russell, going to the breaking pitch on a 3-2 count, able to drop it right in there on the inside corner for a called strike 3. Well, as a catcher, your thoughts not so much with James Russell, but thinking back to Justin Berg struggling out there to throw strikes, to force the pitcher to throw something other than his fastball, to try to get him back into that zone, to get his good release point out in front of his body. At times Russell goes with the breaking ball, 3-2, and gets a strikeout.
Still loaded, 2 outs. Tejada with a single and a run this inning. The 11th Met to bat in the second. Strike 1. Out of play, 0-2.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, Len, and I know this from past experience. When you check the out-of-town scoreboard, if you're in another city around the league or around baseball, and you see 6-4 in the top of the second at Wrigley, you would immediately assume the wind must be howling out.
Tejada couldn't hold up, and the inning is over. So good job by James Russell to stabilize things, but it got away from Coleman and Berg. 5 for the Mets. They now lead 6-4. Freeze can. Tough night for Ronnie Paulino last night. Couple of errors attempting a pickoff of Ryan Dempster, and the ball got away. Coy Hill coming around to score. That's our Coors Light freeze cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. You told James Russell before this game you're going to pitch in the second and get an at bat. He would have said, not buying it. Well, he's not even the second pitcher, he's the third.
Ideally, he'll get a few at bats in this game, because that means he's brought some order back to this game, giving Mike Quade multiple innings out there on the mound, hopefully.
Kosuke walked and scored in the first inning. Boy, this has just been a roller coaster ride. Mets got a run in the first. Cubs came back with 4 in the bottom of the first, and now you're thinking, well, just get through 5. Coleman can cruise, and whether or not the rain comes, you're in good shape. Fly to left. Jason Bay makes the play.
Well, now it'll probably turn into the pitcher's duel that we were expecting
Yeah.
at the top of the show.
That's with 5 in the top of this inning. Stroll through the home of the Cubs, get an insider's look at more than 97 years of history in this legendary ballpark. Guided tours may include visits to the press box, clubhouses, and dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Tour sizes are limited and sell out fast, so get your tickets today. Wind is picking up.
Here's my scorecard.
Yeah, I just about lost everything in front of me. The Cub fans are a hearty bunch. The 1-1 to Barney. Bounced fair. Backhanded play. Turner. Good throw to get him. 7 pitches for Dylan G in the second. 6-4 Mets.
Game live on Comcast Sportsnet and CSNChicago.com. Immediately following the game, get highlights and analysis from Kendall Gill, Mark Shanowski, and the always entertaining Stacey King. Plus, chat live with all 3 during each game on CSNChicago.com.
Must win now. Bulls need to win the last 3 to win that series. Bill Winnington, Bulls radio team, will sing the 7th inning stretch, assuming we get there. Ooh, broken bat grounder. The ball's foul. The bat is fair, as G will have to get a new piece of lumber.
Right in on the hands of the Mets pitcher. That bat headed right toward Aramis Ramirez, who, as usual, playing very shallow down there at third base. Ouch. Handful of bees.
Ramos will get him. Cubs team doctor Stephen Adams wants to send a happy birthday wish to his father, John Bill Adams of St. Joseph, Michigan. And as Doc Adams could only say, his age is finally higher than Doc's IQ.
Ooh, wow.
Okay.
Also want to send congratulations to Jamie and Greg Goodman. Welcomed a new member of their family last Sunday, Joey Lenny Goodman, 8 pounds 6 ounces. Congratulations to the Goodman family.
Reyes batting right-handed for the first time tonight. Two now on Reyes.
Boy, this year for Reyes, it's been a pick your poison situation. Coming into play tonight, a .313 hitter as a righty, a .314 hitter as a lefty. So I guess you want to turn him around to the right side.
Yeah. Picked up by Ramirez. That's out number 2. Talking about Terry Collins last night, back as a big league manager for the first time since he was with the Anaheim Angels. That's when they were called the Anaheim Angels back in 1999. I asked Terry today, I said, it's been a while since you've been in this seat at Wrigley Field. In fact, it's been about 15 years. Back when he was with the Houston Astros. High drive, not going to go anywhere. Josh Tolle will fly out. I said, has Wrigley changed at all? He said, no. He said, just the field. Field's flat now, but he said other than that, it hasn't changed a bit in 15 years. 6-4 Mets in the third. Homered 3 times off Dwight Gooden on opening day in 1994. I think most Cub fans know the answer to that. Flags whipping in the wind tonight. Cubs scored 4 in the first, the very quick 1-2-3 second. They're trailing by 2 here in the bottom of the third. G with new life as his team gave him this lead. Castro, Barney, and Soriano all tied for the Cubs lead with 23 RBIs. Although Soriano with 2 tonight now has 25. Castro grounds out.
Telling you, Len, this is going to turn into a pitcher's night after all. First 2 innings notwithstanding, that was the exception in my eyes. I think this one's going to settle in. It's going to be tough to string together enough hits to score runs.
The Cubs have been very aggressive. He did get his foot back in time. Murphy, 2 outs. To answer the AT&T trivia question, which Cub hit 3 homers off Dwight Gooden opening day 1994? Of course, Tuffy Rhodes, who would go on to set some home run records in Japan. Carlos Pena drives that ball out in the left center for a 2-out hit. Let's go back to opening day 1994.
High fly ball, way back, might be, could be, and in. Long drive, way back, it might be, it could be, and there's a drive, way back. Oh my goodness, Rhodes, 3 home runs. And there's a curtain call. And he deserves it.
All 3 of them to nearly the same location, just to the left of straightaway center. The wind wasn't blowing that day the way it is tonight. Guaranteed.
That looked like August 10th compared to tonight. And that was opening day. Johnson with a 2-run double in the first. Ground ball up the middle. It's going to be handled by Tejada. Reyes covering second. They force Pena. And the inning comes to an end. We go to the 4th inning from Wrigley. It's 6-4 Mets.
Taco Bell open 1 a.m. or later.
Having trouble finding your purse. James Russell, the 3rd Cubs pitcher tonight, facing Carlos Beltran, switch hitting right fielder. He has walked, doubled, knocked in 2s, and has scored twice.
It was nice when I left the office.
I'm cold just looking at that fan. That's how you dress Tom Hoover. He knows he's a Wrigley Field veteran. You always bring one more layer than you think you will need, And actually tonight you probably should have brought 2. Beltran out to left. Soriano makes a catch. It's Healthy Week on Comcast Sportsnet. Your phone is mobile. You can be too. Get up and move around during your next call. Bay has singled and walked. Well, it wasn't that long ago, 2 years ago with Boston. He knocked in 119. That was the most RBIs among all outfielders. Hit 36 home runs, tied for the most among all outfielders. Castro got him. Boy, what an arm on Starlin Castro.
We talked about it in the ball game the other day about setting his feet. I really think Starlin Castro is a better thrower and a more accurate thrower when he throws on the move like he does on this play. Just in time to get Bay busting it down at first baseline. The great thing about Starlin on a play like that, and we've seen him do it many times already here in the 2011 season, there's never any sense of panic or that he has to rush his throw.
Fukudome coming over, almost overran the ball. Nice grab. And that'll end the inning as James Russell has faced 8 Mets. He has retired all of them. It could be getting late with possible rain coming middle of the 4th, 6-4. Mundelein, Illinois, working with the Menards grounds crew tonight, and he may be busy. 6-4 New York as the Cubs bat bottom 3. Well, now here's another interesting question for Mike Quade. You've got James Russell due up 3rd here in this inning. He's pitching well. But we're in the 4th, and the game becomes official after 5. Depending on what happens with the first 2 batters here, do you think about pinch hitting?
I think you have to, Len, under the circumstances. That storm moving this direction, probably less than an hour away, maybe even closer than that. You got to find a way to at least tie this ball game up. Let's make it a tough decision. Get a couple guys on base here. Of course, he could use James Russell then to bunt guys into scoring position for the top of the order, but we'll see how it plays out here.
Up and in on Soriano. It's 3-1. Padres beat the Cardinals today. Latos over Carpenter. 3-1 the final. as the Padres avoided the sweep in that one. Brooks Conrad with a pinch hit 2-run homer in the 11th, and Atlanta beat the Pirates 4-2. Three-two pitch popped up. Tejada in shallow right. One away. Soriano making the out. His former Yankee teammate Mariano Rivera today making history. Not only the 15th pitcher to appear in his 1,000th game, but all of them have come with the Yankees. He's the first pitcher ever to make 1,000 appearances with one team. And the Yankees beat the Blue Jays 7-3. Andrew Jones with a couple of 2-run homers. Mark Teixeira also went deep. And the Yankees get the rubber game 7-3. Called strike. On the catcher, Castillo. Jared Saltalamacchia with a couple of homers over the weekend against the Cubs. 3-run homer today, and the Red Sox crushed the Indians 14-2. So they won that series.
Cleveland actually lost a home game.
Yeah, they lost 2 of 3.
Oh.
Believe it or not. But they're still 19-6 at home.
What a nice catch by that gentleman on that line drive right over the first base dugout. Way to protect the family. Stood up, made a nice two-handed catch.
Swing and a miss for out number 2. It's the second punch out for Dylan G. The new Bud Light Bleachers series provides fans with exciting new opportunities in the Bud Light Bleachers this season, including free T-shirt Mondays, $3 12-ounce draft Bud and Bud Light Tuesday nights, and $1 Vienna beef hot dog Wednesdays. Tuesday night special also available in select locations in the Seating Bowl. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Russell taking the at bat, 2 outs, nobody on. It's more about function than fashion tonight.
You got that right.
For Keith Moreland. Kind of looks like a nun. Off the plate inside. 2-1. Houston beat the Dodgers 2-1. J.R. Tolles with a game-ending RBI single in the bottom of the ninth. This will be it for the Cubs in the 4th. As Russell flies out to Jason Bay. G starting to settle in at 6-4.
500th texter, you could win 5 $5 footlong subs from Subway.
Wind still howling. Foggy drizzle here at the ballpark. Cubs trail 6-4 as we get into the Mets' 5th. This is the key inning. Once you complete 5, it is an official game. James Russell has done everything in his power to keep this game close. He has retired all 8 since he came in the second inning.
Oh,
that's not right.
That's not pretty at all.
It's more than I can stomach. Other action from today. Milwaukee stays hot. Zach Greinke got his 3rd win. He beat Jason Marquis. Brewers 6, Nationals 4. For Milwaukee, their 6th consecutive win. Texas edged the White Sox 2-1. C.J. Wilson over Gavin Floyd. Seattle shut out the Twins in Minnesota. Justin Turner with an opposite field single.
Oh, there you go. That's a good looking lid.
Kind of like the glasses on the guy on the right.
Not sure what the conversation was there, but the gentleman on the right was adamant about something.
He was. Friday looks at ball 1. He was angry about his hat.
How can you be angry about a hat like that? That's a good looking lid. I think I saw one of those at the royal wedding.
He's doing all the talking. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count.
You get a couple guys at the ballpark wearing their fish hats, and both of them have their arms crossed like that. That's a serious conversation right there.
I see. Uh-huh. Floater into right. Back-to-back singles for the Mets. Friday's 2 for 3. You talk about the baseball gods a fair amount. You don't want to upset the baseball gods. This is the one rare exception where the Mets probably want a nice quick 5th inning, but you can't tell your hitters to try to make outs. You just can't. You got to play the game.
Yep.
As Mike Quaddy heads out, because if you don't, the baseball gods will get you, right?
Absolutely. They pay very close attention to how teams respect the game itself. Sure, this is a strategy meeting. Also meant to stall a little bit by Mike Quaddy. I've been watching this radar land. It's sneaking up on us. It's I think it's right down the street. Fog seems to be getting a little thicker. May start out as a very misty rain, but there is some real ugliness in the middle of that storm that's headed this way.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like it's changing already. The wind is blowing even harder as Tejada is squaring the bunt. So Russell fake towards second, so the Cubs know what the Mets are looking to do. Great Base hit left field. 3 consecutive singles to load the bases. Here's a pitcher, Dylan G. 3 on, nobody out. Scott Maine just grabbed the ball in the Cubs bullpen. Boy, this weather is something else. Ball 1. Cubs had a night similar to this on the last homestand, a Saturday night against the San Francisco Giants, where it rained and rained and rained, and they played through it through 6 innings before the game was called. Rain hasn't really been an issue tonight. It's been the heavy wind and thick fog. 1-1 pitch, pop foul, back out of play.
And certainly as a manager, you start to get concerned as the temperature continues to drop, the wind continues to whip around Wrigley Field. You get an extended inning on defense where your players are standing out there. Maybe they've broken a little bit of a sweat earlier in the game running the bases, and now you're standing out there with that cold wind blowing down the back of your neck. That's when guys stiffen up, maybe pull a muscle.
Turner ready to tag, and he's going to try to score, and the throw is a little bit up the line, knocked down by Castillo. Also tagging Pridey as he is now at third. It's a sacrifice fly for the pitcher, Dylan G. And for G, that's his second career RBI. 7-4.
Very tough to get in a good position to get some momentum behind that ball. The wind just continued to push it closer and closer to that right field line. Not only that, but it looked like Fukudome's throw to home plate was blown offline.
I was going to say, it's got to be hard to make an accurate long throw on a night like this.
Yeah, when that ball left his hand, I thought it was right on line. But as it got back into the infield, you could clearly see it working its way into foul territory and allowed Turner enough room to slide in with the 7th run of the game for the Mets.
Jose Reyes swinging away and fouling back. A pop-up. Barney with a diving catch. What a play by Darwin Barney. A wind pushing that ball toward the foul line. He just kept going and going and finally got it.
Well, and keep in mind where he started on that play. Darwin Barney was cheating up the middle a little bit in anticipation of a possible double play ground ball, and he ends up in foul territory making a diving catch. What a great play by the kid.
Strike on a slider to Tolley. Tolley's from Breeze, Illinois, which is under an hour from St. Louis. He was caught some bullpens thrown by Randy Wells in the winter. Knocked down by Pena. They will get the final out. The Mets load them with nobody out, settle for 1. Bottom 5, 7-4 New York. Bottom of the 5th, 7-4 Mets in this wild game tonight. Mets got 1 in the first. The Cubs answered with 4 in the bottom of the inning. Then New York with a big 5-run second. They would tack on later in the 5th. G to Fukudome. 1-1. Here it is, called strike. G over to cover quickly, and he gets the toss from Murphy for the out.
Well, it's time to take a look at our Home Depot doing more on defense in that last half inning. Jose Reyes with a little floater behind for first base. Darwin Barney with a great running catch. Not only makes the great catch, but has the presence of mind to get to his feet quickly to make sure that runner stayed at third base. That was totally unintentional.
Yeah, it was. Involuntary as Darwin Barney takes a strike. Mark Stencil from our production truck took a look at some of the alphabetical surnames, I guess you'd call them. You have Dylan G, Fred Beebe, starting pitcher back in the early part of the last century. Jim D, shortstop in 1884. Shorty D, shortstop 1915. Johnny G, same spelling as Dylan, pitcher back in the 30s and 40s. You said J. You have Joey J, John J, and there's Bill K and Justin K. So that's what we've come up with. I'm still looking for a W.
Good luck with that.
Rainbow to left. Jason Bay with the catch. 2 down in the 5th.
Sadahara was playing in the big leagues right now. You could conceivably have a OG matchup. The rare sliders we've seen from G in this ballgame. He's mostly just relied on that 4-seam fastball, an occasional 2-seam fastball with some sinking action, and that straight changeup.
Comes that changeup. Again, this challenging the hitters. Pitch was up in the zone. Castro flies out to left. We are through 5, so it is official. 7-4 Mets. Patrick Show on Comcast Sportsnet. Tune in as Dan talks sports with your favorite athletes, celebrities, and sports media personalities. Get your sports days started with the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 8 to 11 on Comcast Sportsnet. Another left-hander, Scott Main, is on. James Russell did his job. 3 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 strikeouts.
A real solid job tonight by James Russell, bringing some sanity to this ball game, slowing down this Mets offense a little bit, giving his team a chance to get back in it. Cubs have to find a way to get those bats going and string them together.
Two-thirds of an inning for Scott on Sunday night in Boston. Didn't give up anything. Really struggled 2 nights before that. Got only 1 out, allowed 5 hits and 3 runs. (2-0) on the way to Beltran, and that one smacked out into the gap in right center. It's going to skip all the way to the wall. He's on his way to third, and he's going to get in with a triple. A double and a triple tonight for Beltran. First triple of the year.
Sinker right on that outside corner. Beltran down and through the ball. Got a lot of backspin on that drive to the gap in right center field. Beltran able to leg it out for a leadoff triple.
Infield in, Jason Bay swings and misses. An intriguing matchup tomorrow here at the ballpark. Knuckleballer R.A. Dickey against Carlos Zambrano. Contrasting styles. I'm sure Z has a batting practice knuckleball. Most pitchers do. You know, most position players do. You had a knuckleball, right?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, and hopefully the fact that the Cubs saw Jim Wakefield last week in Boston maybe will give them a little bit of an advantage facing Dickey tomorrow. I mean, there are times you don't see a knuckleballer for an entire season. Sometimes a couple or 3 seasons in a row you won't run into a knuckleball pitcher, and the fact you get to see 2 of them in the span of a week, hopefully that'll help the Cubs offense.
You got to be really careful with that. I think that's going to work.
Doesn't look like. Need some of those broken bat handles, those tent pegs I talk about.
Oh, that'd be a good idea. Flying around the ballpark. Swing and a miss, Jason Bay. For out number 1. So it's R.A. Dickey, or as I like to call him, R.A. Mock Turtleneck. It is raining. Here's Daniel Murphy inside. If we were in the 3rd or the 4th, I think the crew chief Dale Scott would let this thing go for a while, but based on what we've seen on the radar, it may not stop for the rest of the night. So he might just let this thing go as long as possible. And then again, if we stop, we may not get started again.
Well, and as always, the primary concern of the crew chief is the safety, not only of the players on the field, that's your first concern, but also the fans in the stands when bats and balls and other pieces of equipment start flying up into the bleachers because guys can't get an adequate grip on the ball or the bat. That's when you really, really have to be concerned.
Beltran's going to have to stay as Soriano makes a catch in very shallow left. 2 outs. Visit the Chicago Sports Museum located inside Harry Carey's Tavern at Navy Pier to see a rotating collection of unique memorabilia, including Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game ball, Dave Kingman's batting crown, and Ron Santos' All-Star ring. For more information, visit chicagosportsmuseum.org. Everybody back except for the third baseman Ramirez with 2 outs and a first pitch strike to Justin Turner. Able to hold his swing, according to CB Buckner at first. 1-2.
Still battling that dry cleaning bag down the third base line.
Bounce to Ramirez. Throw to first, and he gets him. Wind kicking up even more. Rain coming down here at Wrigley Field. Scott Maine gives up the leadoff triple. Gets out of it with no damage. 7-4 Mets. Demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Bottom of the 6th, 7-4 Mets. The Cubs got 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Since then, over the last 4 innings, they have a grand total of 1 hit off Dylan G. Way up into the foggy night. This could be interesting, and it's caught by the first baseman Murphy. Tejada was underneath it, and the ball landed about 12 feet to his right, or at least to his left, to our right, as that wind really playing tricks.
A perfect example of everybody chase everything. It looked like a routine pop-up to second base. Tejada started to drift, and finally Murphy said, I can get that one. I'm closer to it than you are. You can see Tejada looking up into that misty rain, the wind blowing the ball back to the first baseman, Murphy.
Big swing by Pena, and he fouled it back to the barrier. Reed Johnson on deck, looks like an NFL center. He's got the towel hanging out of his back pocket.
Well, I would imagine right before he goes up to the plate, he'll use that towel not only to dry off the bat, but to dry off the helmet. One thing that happens when you get a misty rain falling like this, it drips off the bill of your helmet as you're looking out there toward the pitcher's mound. So he's probably going to dry off real good before he heads up to that batter's box.
Dylan G trying to improve to 4-0 on the season. 1-2 swing and a foul tip strikeout. Got him on a change.
That's been G's go-to pitch, especially with 2 strikes, especially against the left-handed hitters in the Cubs lineup tonight. Real good arm action, a little bit of late tailing movement. Pena swings right through it.
G has had 2 starts in his short career in which he's gone into the 6th with a no-hitter. Both have come against the Washington Nationals as Johnson gets hit by that pitch. He was obviously very sensitive to that after Marlon Byrd got beamed in the face in Boston over the weekend, but Johnson able to turn away from that one.
6th time this season Reed Johnson's been plunked by a pitch. There's a real art to that, Len. We've talked about it in the past. Certain hitters have that ability to give the appearance that they're turning away from the pitch and trying to get out of the way, when in reality they don't move at all. If anything, they move further into the ball to make sure they get hit.
Swing and a miss. Changeup. 0-2. Too cold to sit. And he got him on a high fastball to end the inning. 6 complete. Mets 7, Cubs 4. Pirates here at Wrigley Field. Coverage starts at 11:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. Cubs Pirates Saturday at 11:30 a.m. on your home for Cubs baseball. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. We play the 7th. Lefty versus lefty. Maine against Jason Pridey. Hits it foul off to the left for a strike. G has gone all the way for the Mets. Casey Coleman got yanked in the 2nd inning. If it doesn't rain any harder than this, we might be able to get through 9.
Well, certainly we played through rains harder than this and finished ball games in the early spring.
Got him. Called strike 3.
Well, what a great job by Scott Maine in that 6th inning. Get a look at that slider grip. The ball comes out of his hand, spinning kind of like a football. Takes that break right back to the inside corner. Back in that 6th inning, the leadoff triple by Carlos Beltran, and Maine was able to go 1, 2, 3 after that and strand the Mets runner at third base. Really nice job.
Low and in to Tejada. Baltimore beat Kansas City 9-2. Camden Yards, Jake Arrieta over Luke Hochevar in that one. Tampa Bay and Detroit were postponed. Cincinnati and the Phillies 3-3 bottom of the 9th in Philadelphia. Travis Wood and Roy Halladay started that game. Halladay gave up 11 hits. Two.
Good changeup of his own that time from Scott Maine. Little fade away. Started it on the outside corner. Got Tejada way out in front. Well, and the more I watch Scott Maine, his delivery is very similar. Boy, now I'm drawing a blank.
To somebody that
I've seen pitch before.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. I agree.
Yeah.
He looks like somebody.
A lot like that. While I'm thinking about it, hey, it's a new season, a new look. Join Vineline, the official magazine of the Chicago Cubs, Scott Air, in celebrating the 25th anniversary in 2011. Get the backstage pass to how the Cubs live and play on the field as well as off. Subscriptions start at just $29.95. For more information and to order, visit Cubs.com/Vineline.
Bill Wennington getting set for the 7th inning stretch. Two 2-0 on the pitcher G. Yeah, Scott Air, good call.
Yeah, delivery very similar.
What you mean, Stevie?
Stevie Iyer, yeah.
You know we're going to get a text from Stevie Iyer. He watches all the time from Florida. 3-0 on the way, and it's low. G draws a 2-out walk. And they have called for the tarp. I think Dale, or no, They haven't. Just to take care of the mound. I was going to say, I think Dale Scott saw Bill Wennington ready to sing and said, not going to let it happen just yet. So I think they're just going to do nothing.
Yeah, maybe just wanted to alert Roger Baird as to what he thought needed to be done between innings. Get the proper equipment and diamond dry ready.
And that's low. It is Healthy Week on Comcast Sportsnet. Get up and deliver a message to your coworker in person instead of email. Imagine that. Go up and talk to somebody. Do you see the throw back to the pitcher? Looked like the wind got a hold of it.
Yep.
It's a strike.
We're talking about R.A. Dickey, the knuckleballer, pitching tomorrow for the Mets. Knuckleball pitchers love it when the wind is blowing out, because that means they're throwing their knuckleball into the wind, and they get a lot more radical movement on that pitch when they're throwing it into a breeze as opposed to when the wind is blowing at their back.
Ground ball base hit. Ramirez was almost standing on the bag at third, hugging the line, and that gave Reyes a nice hole. Roger Baird just looking on. At groundskeeper here at Wrigley Field, and now they have called for the tarp. So with 2 outs here on the top of the 7th, we may have Bill Wennington sing the stretch anyway, just for our viewing audience. But Mike Quade is very upset. Boy, he's really upset. I think Mike's saying, look, it hasn't been, it's not raining any harder than it was 10 minutes ago. And I think Mike knows, Bob, that there's a pretty decent chance that this game might not continue.
Well, especially since just a week ago, the Cubs and the Giants played through a lot harder rain than this for 9 innings.
I think Mike's saying it's the 7th inning. We can't get 2 more innings in. I think you're right, Bob. I think Mike's saying the field was in much worse condition 2 weeks ago. And actually, look at the field. There's no standing water anywhere.
That's just a persistent mist. It isn't really blown up into a full-blown rainstorm here. I can certainly understand Mike's frustration.
So we are in a rain delay. And you know what? Let's put the headset on Bill Wennington. He came all the way up to the booth to chat with us. Bill, how you doing?
I think
you know how that headset thing works. I know.
The gods must not want me to sing.
Oh, so close.
Yeah.
Oh, so close.
We were right here.
What was the temperature like in Miami yesterday?
No, it was really tough to walk off the plane at 3 o'clock this morning and then wake up